so I know I'm super freaking late. But how can I not talk about this? A few weeks ago, I was scrolling down like Comic Fan's Facebook page and I see this. My first thoughts were obviously, man, that's some really good freaking Photoshop. And then I realized it's real. 11 Oscar nominations and 4 in main categories. What the? Man, this is huge and it changes everything with the Oscars. And not just for comic book movies. This is much bigger and I'm gonna explain and I'll be fast. And yeah, I'm gonna talk about Joker here, but this is not a Marvel or DC thing. The Joker nominations show a sign of things to come that's gonna help Marvel, DC, and just other type of films that have always been ignored by the Academy. So yeah, this is exciting. And dude, the Academy has had a stick up its ass for so long, like they don't even feel the stick anymore. And I've never shied away from like bashing the Oscars and how just out of touch they are. Seriously, it's like a bunch of pretentious freaking pricks. So I was surprised when I saw this, man. And yeah, bravo, dude. Give credit where credit's due. The Oscars are finally getting out of their comfort zone. And it shows the 11 nominations are great, but it's the 4 major nominations for Joker that it's like, what? Okay. I know some people dismiss Joker as like a shallow Scorsese ripoff, and you don't have to love Joker, but did we see the same film? Bro, the amount of layers and symbolism this movie has is freaking insane. You have to see this movie 10 times just to catch everything. Or you could see it once and 15 minutes into it, just completely check out. Sure, that's happened. And man, this is a psychological, dark freaking film. Now, Joker may be set in the early 80s, but it perfectly captures our times today. The political climate, the divisiveness, the lack of empathy, and the monsters it may create. It's a cautionary tale and one that shouldn't be dismissed, dude. And it holds a mirror up to society, so yeah, it's uncomfortable. Good job, movie. And considering the times we live in right now, I think it's probably one of the most important movies I've seen come out in a few years. Todd Phillips had a plan. He wanted to make a dark psychological character study. You know, the ones Hollywood doesn't make anymore? And disguise it as a comic book movie so Hollywood would back it up. Thank you, Todd Phillips, for giving us something we don't get anymore from Hollywood. Yeah. And if you're going for a dark character study, how are you not inspired by arguably the best one ever made? And there's a difference between rip-off and paying homage. Taxi Driver is my favorite Scorsese movie. If you think this is a direct rip-off of Taxi Driver, you need to see Taxi Driver again, dude. But yes, Joker feels very vintage Scorsese. Is that a bad thing? At least we got one movie this year that really felt like vintage Scorsese. Nothing against the TV miniseries. That was good too. But I'm just saying. Now, as far as comic book movies, this whole Marvel versus DC thing, I don't get it. It's freaking nuts. I just want a good movie, man. I don't care who makes it. And if you go through the history of comic book movies, Marvel and DC have evolved together, each inspired by the other. Gotta do a video on that. So yeah, I have no horse in the race here, dude. This whole Oscar versus superhero thing really started in 2008 with the Dark Knight snub. The Dark Knight backlash was so bad, it actually changed the Oscars, which was a huge deal because the Oscars don't like change. They increased the Best Picture nominations from 5 to 10 to make room for the movies that, I don't know, people actually watched and heard of. And even though that was cool, my first concern when I heard that was, are you gonna use those spots just kind of toss in movies to shut people up? Or are they movies you really do respect and yeah, like, oh, throw the dog a bone, they should be fine now, shut them up. Now, sorry DC, but Marvel has been the king of consistency for a lot of years, since 2008. An absolute machine just churning out quality. The thing is, that quality has been very comic booky, which is kind of giving the Academy a get out of jail free card. Like, of course they're not gonna nominate some laser beam crap. And then came 2017, and with it, 2 movies that kind of reignited that whole Dark Knight snub feeling with Logan and Wonder Woman. 2 movies that weren't trying to be really comic book movies, except for maybe the third act of Wonder Woman that got pretty comic booky. But yeah, they were trying to be different. Now, 2018 finally did see the first comic book movie nominated for Best Picture. And dude, it took guts to put an almost all black cast pretty much in a white dominated comic book genre. It was awesome and it was important. Now, I don't want to take anything away from Black Panther because I really like that movie. But even Marvel fans were a little confused. A good majority will tell you that wasn't even the best Marvel movie that year. The other one pretty much made for Oscar nomination. Also, why no other major category for Black Panther? You know, like the ones that serious Best Pictures kind of, get a mix of? The fans of this genre have wanted their movies to be taken seriously for a long time. And rightfully so. These are hardcore fans. Marvel and DC, both great. When will you guys realize we're freaking in this together, dude? But with the Academy's history of decision-making with agendas, and Black Panther's out of the blue nomination, it does bring into question, did the Academy really respect that film as a Best Picture nomination? Or was it just a really good opportunity finally giving that win to the comic book movie fan base, as well as the Oscars to white protesters? Killing two birds with one stone? It's not beneath them to do that. Just saying. Which is why I thought this thing, it was freaking photoshopped. Best Actor nomination, that was a given, bro. I knew score was gonna be in there too. The score was amazing by, I'm still not even gonna try, dude. No. But when you have Best Director and Best Adapted Screenplay in there as well, all of a sudden that Best Picture nomination, it just feels different and a little more real. Like maybe they really are taking this seriously now. And again, this isn't just a win for comic book fans and comic book movies. It's a win for the movies that were maybe too dark, too different, or maybe just not Oscar-y enough for the freaking Academy in the past. Since the Dark Knight snub in 2008, the Academy has slowly started to bring in new blood. Especially the last couple of years, they've really ramped up just new Academy voters that are more modern. And it's really starting to show. I mean, something had to change, dude. They've been screwing up for a long time. Even with nominations that honestly should have been winners. An absolute cultural phenomenon that took the entire world by storm. No, sorry, bro. We're gonna give it to a freaking conversation piece. Oh, that, by the way, the guy who made it freaking ended up banging his freaking adopted daughter. Nice. Dark, haunting, fucking historically significant, dude, and listed as one of the greatest films ever made? Sorry, bro, two people are getting a freaking divorce. Even movies that stand the test through time, man. The Oscars tend to pick the wrong ones because of their comfort zone. What about a movie that changed a genre and whose impact and influence could be seen in various movies each freaking year for the last 26 freaking years? No, let's look at the winner. Only thing that's lived on from that year's winner are mentally disabled jokes. Oh, and yeah, Jenny's a whore. Yeah, people remember that. The clear sign with the Joker nominations is that the Oscars are finally starting to get out of their comfort zone. Some of my favorite movies, and in my opinion, the best movies in the past, ignored by the Oscars, are the dark psychological films. Man, and there are some films here that I strongly believe at least deserve the Best Picture nomination. The Joker nominations are a win for the Sevens, the Fight Clubs, the Mementos, the Ex Machinas, the freaking Dark Knights, and the Logans. By the way, shout out to Logan and its grittiness, because I think that was what opened the door for Joker. See how Marvel and DC work together? Yeah. Guys, it's an exciting time. I know when I used to watch the Oscars, I was like, yeah. Shit. Guys, in the end, this is just a freaking win and a sign that the Oscars are getting out of that comfort zone. The Oscars are finally starting to show signs that they're not just gonna pick a movie here or there. No, they're starting to take movies seriously that usually they wouldn't look at in the past. You were always gonna lose to like a King's Speech or like to Annie Hall or whatever else, which are fine movies. I'm not saying they're not, but there's no reason we can't get Jaws to win a Best Picture, Taxi Driver to win a Best Picture. And the Oscars know they screw up, dude. The Departed was a great movie, but you better believe that was an apology for what the Oscars did to Martin Scorsese in 91 with Goodfellas, picking a freaking petting zoo instead of one of the best gangster movies in the world. Who knows, maybe the whole Joker thing right now is the Oscars apologizing for not just Taxi Driver, but also the Dark Knight snub. Who knows? They're both Warner Brothers, and regardless, whether you're Marvel, DC, anything, it doesn't matter. You should be excited that this might be a sign of things to come. Guys, I hope you like my review. Please like, subscribe, or whatever, all the stuff that I have. And again, thanks for watching.